Hello, good morning, friends. How are y'all doing today? Happy Monday. It is Magical Monday. It is Merch Monday. It is Motivational Monday. I hope you have whatever kind of Monday you need to best set you up for this week. And today is not just any Monday. It is the Monday that Uranus moved into Gemini at like 3:46 a.m. today. So this is kind of a big deal. Uranus is a disruptor, someone who shakes things up, someone who calls us to come back to our authentic self, our most authentic selves, as well as being humanitarian focused, as well as being focused on what's best for the collective. And moving into the sign of curious Gemini, chaotic Gemini too, we can expect some things to change, okay? And these changes do feel pretty big, especially on a collective level, as well as a personal one. I mean, my personal poll included the tower this morning, so that's kind of the vibe, you know? So let's go ahead and, dive into that poll for the collective. Okay, we don't have the tower, but, we do have an interesting card for this one. So our prompt for today from my Staying Centered in the Storm prompts is a card for what will be shaken up in our lives with this transit. So, hey witch, we have the Fool, okay? It was really interesting because my personal poll included 3 major arcana cards. Okay, so I'm not surprised to see a major arcana card for our collective pull as well. All right, so this transit is going to shake us up in the area of new beginnings, of starting over, of taking a leap of faith. Okay, it almost feels as if we have kind of been holding back in a way, holding back for maybe the right time, holding back for feeling like it was intuitively correct for us to do things, okay? Holding back on starting over. Maybe we've been so scared to start over, but this is signaling that this is the time to do it. And with that starting over energy, it's going to be really important for us to walk through any kind of fear around starting over, because Uranus is not going to hold back, okay? Uranus is going to ask us to change, and really, it's not really an ask, it's more like a, hey, you're gonna. So if you have been putting off starting something new or beginning a whole new journey, then you can expect with this transit that to come up again and really be feeling as if you're being pushed to start over, pushed to take a leap of faith and try something new, pushed to take a new adventure, okay? And if you've been here for a while, you know that I love the Fool card. Essentially, we are all the Fool, just trying to navigate our lives, trying to figure our paths out, trying to figure ourselves out along the journey. So that's what's going to be shaken up as well. We are. And I know sometimes a shakeup feels scary or feels confusing, or, even just the uncertainty feels really overwhelming. But I want you to take a moment and think back to the times in your life where things got shooken up, where the path you were on was disrupted. Initially, it probably felt extremely chaotic and confusing. But what happened after that? Was there a time, some point after the confusion, after the shaking up, that you realized why that all happened? Sometimes if we're not shaken up, if things are not disturbed, we don't move. We stay stuck. And I feel like after talking to many of you, there's this stuck feeling in a way, stagnant energy. So instead of being afraid of this shakeup, what would happen if we sat with it? What would happen if we did our best to embrace it? What would happen if we stayed curious about it, like Gemini? Perhaps then we could start again. I take this as a sign that new things are coming. But first, the old must go. So how are you going to stay open to these shakeups in your life? Uranus is a slow-moving planet, okay? So this is going to be going on for a little while. Uranus will stay in Gemini until November 7th, when it will retrograde back into Taurus for a little while. And then it will move back into Gemini in 2026, where it will stay until 2033, I believe. We can look forward to this shakeup over a long period of time. So the key here is going to be to stay open, stay curious, and be willing to start over fresh, my friends. I know it's easier said than done, okay? But together, we can do this. So how are you going to stay open to this today and for the next several months and then years? Let me know in the comments, and I will see y'all next time. Bye, friends.